So in the last video, I had just finished up all my plans, and shortly after, I ordered all the parts for my frame from a company called Tnutz. About 3 weeks later, it arrived, and I began organizing all the pieces to make sure everything was in order. There were a few dents and dings, but Tnutz had no sympathy for that, but otherwise the shipment was fine. I then put together the very bottom of the frame to make sure my measurements were okay, and put them on the bed, and it worked out really great actually. The inner rail actually lines up with a few holes that are on the bed of the Maverick, so I think I should be able to just bolt it directly to the bed. I removed the plastic trim because I was trying to figure out whether or not I should mount it directly to the bed or on top of the plastic. The issue with the plastic is that it has rounded corners up by the cab. I don't want to let this limit my camper. A lot of people will either make the camper narrower to fit within the rounded corners, or they will make it shorter and just build over the corners. I didn't want to let that plastic limit my design, so I'll either need to mount it without the plastic or cut the plastic. And I think I'll go with cutting the plastic because it'll look a lot nicer. I actually ended up breaking a couple of the plastic pieces on the trim here, so I decided to include a few clips showing the mechanisms holding the plastic caps on, so hopefully that helps anyone else removing them in the future. I then began assembling the rest of the frame on a table in my driveway. This was a pretty painless process. After I figured out how the fasteners work, I ended up having to actually build it twice, but it wasn't that big of a deal, and the second time it took me like 15 minutes. So I added the door frame, but I'll be removing it later to make it easier to work on the upper section. I just wanted to get the entire lower frame completed and assembled so I could get it on the truck and further validate my measurements. Getting this frame built was a huge milestone, and I was super stoked to see this project come to life. With some help from my friend Niles, I got the frame on the truck, and it fit perfectly. So in the next video, I'm going to focus on building out the folding walls, which is going to be the most complicated part of this build by far.